take a trip through one of the most beautiful places on earth. A journey of discovery. A unique opportunity to get in touch with unspoiled nature. Enjoy your time in a place that offers something for everyone. A land of beautiful contrasts.
Hello, good evening and welcome to the news at 7 on NTA International. I'm Toby Walter Naji. Let's take first headlines. Peaceful coexistence for national development of Nigeria in focus as 59th Independence Anniversary Church Service in Abuja. World Health Day. Cardiovascular diseases still a challenge, just as medical experts worry about cases of malnutrition among children. Plus, federal government makes agriculture now more attractive to youths through capacity building in food production and value chain. Many thanks for tuning in. The thrust of Nigeria's 59th Independence Anniversary Interdenominational Church Service in Abuja was to sustain peaceful coexistence for national development. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, in his speech titled "The New Nigeria," reassured that all hope is not lost because the Nigeria of God's divine intervention will be plenteous for all. Visionary leadership, selflessness, corrupt-free and tolerant people guarantees the best and new Nigeria that will be better for all.
A Nigeria where justice and equity and fairness shall prevail. A united Nigeria, where the different tribes and tongues are not wedges of separation, but the joyful textures of our togetherness. God is ready to fulfill his promise.
Reverend Daniel Mbaya of EYN admonished Nigerians, especially Christians, to selflessly contribute towards the overall development of Nigeria. Speaking in the same vein, the National President, Christian Association of Nigeria, Reverend Samson Supo Ayokunle, said peaceful coexistence is the panacea for national development.
Freedom is cheap. Our forefathers suffered and gave their lives and their blood even for us to be free as a nation today. Making Nigeria great is our joint responsibility. No one can do it alone, and no institution can do it alone in Nigeria. If you think that it lies with the political institution alone, and religious institution does not have responsibility, the security arm, etc., they don't have responsibility, it will be exercised in futility.
Deputy Senate President Ovie Omoagege read one of the Bible lessons at the service. Among other top dignitaries that admonished Nigerians at the gathering were the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, former Nigerian Head of State and founder Nigerian Praise Project, General Yakubu Gowon. And now to health. Today is World Heart Day, celebrated globally to create awareness around cardiovascular diseases as well as inform people to take care of their heart. The World Health Day aims at drawing attention of people to one of the leading causes of death in the world, with a significant percentage of people in the world suffering from heart diseases like stroke, heart attack and heart failure. The World Heart Federation reveals that at least 80% of premature deaths can be protected by controlling four main risk factors such as unhealthy diet, tobacco use, lack of physical activity, and use of alcohol. It says heart-related problems and death can be solved by active involvement of the people through the campaign of World Health Day. Governments and non-governmental agencies globally create awareness of cardiovascular diseases, adjudged world's #1 killer of particular theme. No particular theme is decided for each year's celebration in order to focus on the main subject and make it effective. And now, achievement of universal health coverage is hinged on nutrition, which is identified as an essential health package that must be given priority in any society. Experts are, however, worried that the prevalence of stunted growth of under 5-year children in Nigeria still remains the increase despite interventions by the federal government and donor agencies. In this report, Basi Taikman takes a look at the rate of malnutrition in the country.
The first 1,000 days of a child's life offer a unique window of opportunity for preventing undernutrition and its consequences. Investigations show that this opportunity, if grasped with open hands, perhaps could reduce the number of malnourished children in the country.
It is a statement of fact that without nutrition, there's no proper development.
So, what may appear as an economic problem in the next 20 years may actually not be the result of a lack of economic opportunity, but a lack of incapacitation that was caused by malnutrition.
Nigeria is said to be the second highest burden of stunted children in the world, with an estimated 2.5 million children suffering from severe acute malnutrition.
The problem that we need to think through as policymakers across the country.
I've been at the vanguard of advancing nutrition in Nigeria. We believe that all lives have equal value and that everyone deserves all it takes to live a healthy and productive life.
It is said that malnutrition is not a medical problem, but record shows that it is a cause of 45% of all under 5 deaths.
Through no fault of theirs, other than that their cognitive development has been retarded by a lack of attention to nutrition early in their lives.
What should be done?
There's need for us to look at innovations and new approaches so that Nigeria will not fail again in meeting the sustainable development goals.
To achieve success in the reduction of malnutrition prevalence in Nigeria, experts advocate the scaling up of evidence-based interventions using proven contexts and specific modalities. Basi Taikman, NTA News.
And still talking health, a high-level meeting on universal health coverage under the theme "Moving Together to Build a Healthier World" has part of the side events at the ongoing United Nations General Assembly in New York. In this report, health correspondent Rabi Abdullah puts the Nigerian situation in perspective against the clarion call for nations to accelerate progress towards universal health coverage.
Universal health coverage means that all people and communities receive the quality health services they need without financial hardship. Findings, however, show that globally, about 100 million people are pushed into extreme poverty each year because of out-of-pocket spending on health. Universal health coverage remains a top priority and a global agenda and an integral part of the Sustainable Development Goals. Hence, the task before nations.
The objective of the universal health coverage is to strengthen our health systems, beginning with primary health care. We must continue to work to guarantee healthier lives for everyone.
Although Nigeria has been struggling to join the rest of the world in the quest for universal health coverage as far back as 2005, progress has, however, been quite slow. As 14 years down the lane, the scheme has only been able to meet the needs of less than 5% of Nigeria's population of 200 million people.
Government should review the NHS, make it compulsory.
If I have a big problem like surgery or transplant, at least the health insurance scheme should cover up to that, not just when you're having malaria, typhoid, or all these minor sickness.
However, The demonstration of political will and renewed impetus on universal health coverage on the part of the federal government is rather seen in the implementation of the National Basic Health Provision Fund, which saw the recent disbursement of over 6 billion naira to 15 states and the Federal Capital Territory for states' health insurance scheme.
I want to see NHIS confine themselves to the provisions of the Act to pay for basic minimum package for all Nigerians.
Health is considered to be a human right for everyone at every age. In Abuja, Rabi Abdullah, NTA News.
And away from health now, the British judge Christopher Boucher on Thursday ruled that Nigeria has the permission to seek to overturn a judgment that will permit a UK-based private firm, Process and Industrial Development, otherwise known as P&ID, the authority to seize over $9 billion in assets from Nigeria. Anthony Forson reports.
An Industrial Development Limited is a firm set up to carry out a gas project in Nigeria. It won a $6.6 billion award from an arbitration after the said deal collapsed. From 2013, the $6.6 billion award went up to over $9 billion, and by August this year, a UK commercial court ruled that P&ID can seize Nigeria's assets in the same sum. The federal government of Nigeria, with this development, dispatched a high-powered delegation to the United Kingdom to present its case as to why the commercial court of UK should listen to its side of the story.
We are here strategizing both on the legal and on the PR aspect of the case.
Members of the delegation moved with confidence, armed with facts and figures as to why the UK court should grant its plea.
That borders on fraud, corrupt practices, illegalities, jurisdiction, and the application of law as it relates.
The federal government's delegation settled in the Nigerian embassy for days, counting down to the date of hearing. During this period, the delegation assembled its legal team in the UK and those from Nigeria.
Quite a surprising case. I think the more information that's shared with the investment community in London, the better the government will be able to push back on this quite shocking and disappointing situation.
The UK lawyers will be working with the Nigerian government to set aside that judgment, which we believe to be unjust, unfair, and to have been procured using misrepresentation.
Counting down hours to the hearing, there were high hopes of a positive outcome.
Obviously, the people we met here are so taken aback that they've gotten a lot of information that was not known to them concerning the fraudulent activities of P&ID. And with this narrative, I think the whole world would know that the judgment that was given to them was given based on information that was not made known to the court.
The first time they had, and the same actors involved in P&D were also in the IFCO judgment. Yes, the same people. And they had a lot of companies. They have series of chef companies. P&ID itself is a chef company that doesn't have any root.
It gives Nigeria an opportunity to meet members of the international community to tell our own story about the fraud that the P&ID was all about.
Then the hearing date. After 2 hours, Judge Boucher adjourned for another 1.5 hours. In the end, he ruled and granted Nigeria's request for a stay on any asset seizure while the legal challenges is pending.
We are studying the ruling from that perspective, from the perspectives of compliance, from the perspectives of the law, from the perspectives of available remedies to us.
What this means is that we can no longer be harassed by P&D. At least in the next 60 days when we would have been able to meet the cost condition.
Anthony Forson, NTA News.
To other stories now, Niger State Governor Abubakar Sani Bello says he is adopting the United Nations Education for Justice Initiative tool aimed at reinforcing the capacity of teachers. The State Governor Abubakar Sani Bello says The administration has designed its master plan, which focuses on sustainable education, peace and partnership for the socio-economic well-being of the state.
At the end of this intervention, we're able to come up with a solution or way forward for invested NGOs or states or government on how to interface with some of the organizations and how to work together to get some results going forward. But like I said, as part of the global program for the implementation of the Doha Declaration, we are prepared as a state to adopt the Education for Justice initiative as tools, materials and products aimed at reinforcing the capacity of teachers and educators to build young people that will lead change in their professions, communities and nations.
United Nations Office of Drug and Crime raised concern over youth's involvement in crime worldwide. It estimates that more than 1.8 billion population of youths are involved in one crime or the other, with over 50% of them under 23 years of age. To this end, the UN body identified an adequate and quality education solution to the menace. Now, the federal government is providing an enabling environment for youth participation in all aspects of agricultural value chain towards reducing joblessness and poverty among them. Musa Babali reports that young agriculturists will be empowered to produce, package and market their products and for international market.
Working in an environment like this, clearing of weed and tilting the soil are some of the factors discouraging youth to go into farming activities. And those who want to go into selling and marketing of agricultural produce are often discouraged with setting of the local markets as well as the activities of middlemen. But all these are beginning to change as the federal government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, is introducing a platform that stimulates the interest of youth for farming. This platform includes introduction of technology that allows farming and marketing of produce without stress.
And if you go around the world now, you see a lot of Nigerian products being repackaged by other West African countries and being sold as their products. So we feel that we have to support this young, these young women with the facilitation and training on how they can package, brand, and of course provide market access for them.
These youths are taking advantage of that as they engage in the production and selling of food items and beverages that are often not found in superstores. Items like potash, dry spinach, hibiscus known as zobo, and dry baobab leaf called kuka in Hausa language. 25 years old Hafsatu Usman is into processing of seasoning. She says her target is international markets.
Hausa food, and most people like it, but they don't know where to get it. So even the zobo powder, it's easy. That's why we chose zobo powder.
Abubakar Audu, a youth corps member serving in Abuja, is into cassava flakes, that is gari. He buys, packages and sells.
I know like much people into it, so there are a lot of opportunities for the youth to tap into it to create wealth and also boost the economy.
With this platform, these young entrepreneurs will be linked with Standard Organization of Nigeria and other regulatory agencies for standardization to make their products fit for export. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
All right, you're still watching the news on NTA International. We'll take a break and right back with the rest of the stories.
Hey, you! And are you how they talk to? I sabi you now. It's in day your mind, Abi. The person with them go help us. Baba Torosa, Shagalo, Ogalekuva, Mr. Sabi. And you know if we carry last for this one. We Sabi say Peking will crawl before you help anybody. Go for her. Go for football. Go for all Syria on the Liga Martins live. Go for GoTV Max.
Thanks for tuning in. And now a little on politics. Monday, September 30th is set as deadline for the collection of permanent voter cards in Kogi State. INEC says only 7,000 out of the 170,000 eligible voters who registered the continuous voter registration exercise have so far picked up their cards. Charles Alpha reports.
Their civic rights of voting in an election, and since the 2011 election, the use of PVC has been a major upgrade in the Nigeria's electoral process. Because of its importance in any election, registered voters, INEC, and other key players strive to ensure the cards are collected after registration and production. According to INEC, there are more than 1.6 million registered voters in Kogi State going into the governorship election in November. After the 2019 general election, more than 170,000 uncollected cards were still with the commission in the state. In order to guarantee more participation, INEC announced sometimes last month that it would commence redistribution of permanent voter cards from 2nd to 30th of September. Well, that deadline is here, and the question is, how many of these cards have been collected so far?
So before the exercise for the issue of permanent voters cards commenced, we had a total of 470,664 uncollected permanent voters cards. And as in the third week, we've only been able to issue 7,044 cards. And so that state the response is still very poor.
In the process of collection, some persons could neither find their names nor cards.
I don't see my picture.
Now, with just a fraction of the over 170,000 cards collected, is INEC planning to extend the deadline to enable more persons collect their cards? And if not, what is the fate of those who could not get their cards before the September 30th deadline?
Yeah, the Commission hasn't taken a decision to extend, but that's unlikely, considering the fact that we make preparations for elections. We need to commit our staff to other preparations for the holding series of trainings, which generally involve some of those staff together because of the exercise they've had to go to issue the cards. And so, if the Commission decides that we should extend, because we have to do that, that looks very unlikely.
About 44% of total registered voters in the state, according to INEC, turned out in the last general election. It is hoped that number will increase, given the number of cards collected so far. In Lokoja State, Charles Alpha, NTA News.
And President Muhammadu Buhari felicitates with Osun State Governor Boyega Oyetola on his 61st birthday. The President wishes Governor Oyetola good health, sound mind, and more years of purposeful and visionary leadership for the good people of Osun State and Nigeria. In a message by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, the President commended him for his determination to improve infrastructure, social services, human and capital development in Osun. He implores him to execute all the programs of the All Progressives Congress, as well as fulfill his campaign promises to the electorate. President Buhari charges the governor to use the special occasion of his 65th anniversary as another privilege and opportunity to rededicate himself to do more service to God and humanity. And now for stories that made headlines globally, let's join Obiageli Ugwoke.
Hello there, it's glad to have you join us on The World in 6 days. We begin with Rwanda, where 66 migrants who were stranded in camps in Libya arrived in the country. They are the first group to be relocated following an agreement between the Rwandan government the UN Refugee Agency and the African Union. Rwanda has agreed to take in more than 500 migrants who were trapped in dangerous conditions in Libya while trying to reach Europe. The UN says the first group includes many unaccompanied children, single mothers and families, some of whom are from the Horn of Africa. The youngest passenger was a 2-month-old girl born to Somali parents. The UNHCR said the migrants who were being transferred on a voluntary basis will be staying at Gashura Transit Center, about 55 kilometers south of the capital, Kigali. And in Democratic Republic of Congo, more than 800,000 children have been vaccinated after a measles outbreak killed more than 3,500 people this year. The World Health Organization and the Congolese government carried out the emergency program across the country in slightly more than a week. The World Health Organization says the epidemic is the world's largest and fastest moving. It has killed more Congolese people this year than Ebola. Despite previous rounds of immunizations, the disease has spread to every part of the country. Lack of routine access to vaccinations and healthcare has contributed to the problem. Moving on, Jacques Chirac, former French president, died Thursday, aged 86. The former French leader served 2 terms as president and took his country into the single European currency. One of his major political reforms was to cut the presidential term of office from 7 to 5 years. In the meantime, 3 suspects accused of plotting to overthrow the government in Ghana have been charged to court. They were arrested last week and accused of plotting to target the presidency with the aim of taking over government. The Ministry of Information said several weapons were found during a raid. At the court in the capital, Accra, the 3 suspects were charged with conspiracy to commit crimes as well as illegally manufacturing firearms explosives.
Thank you very much, Obiageli. And now talking sports. Nigeria's Divine Oduduru places 4th in 200 meters in Heat 1 at IAF World Championship in Doha after cleared by IAAF. Kene Imabodike has details on our sports stats.
Nigeria's Divine Odudu and Blessing Okabore Ihote Guno are still firmly in contention at the ongoing World Athletics Championships in Doha, Qatar, following the acceptance of an appeal by the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, AFN, to the International Association of Athletics Federations, IAAF, over the breach of rules in the entry of both athletes. A statement released in Doha Sunday evening by the chairman, AFN Media Committee, Amanzi Marcus, deeply appreciates the concerns of all while calling on Nigerians to pray for the team's success at the championships. Minister of Youth and Sports Development Sunday Dare has restated the commitment of the President administration to restore the past glory of all stadia in the country. Ayomiku Ajibola reports that the minister, who said this during the inspection tour of facilities at the 59-year-old Obafemi Awolowo Stadium, Ibadan, emphasized on maintenance as key to the development of the sector.
I've seen the indoor sports, I've seen the main ball, I've seen the swimming pool, I've seen the training pitches. I think that we need to bring this place back to work.
The Nigeria Referees Association Saturday at the main bowl of Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, held a one-day FIFA listing physical test. The report of the exercise, which features 7 male assistant referees as well as 3 female center referees and 4 assistants, is to be transmitted to the World Football Governing Body Monday.
Fitness test is essential, where referees were supposed to be very mobile and our training should be excellent. So if some of them are not really training, very unfortunate, those that don't make it will replace them. There is no two way about that.
Meanwhile, the abducted mother of former Super Eagles coach and player Siasia regained her freedom on Sunday, almost after 3 months in captivity. This is the second time in 4 years that a 76-year-old Ogere Siasia will be kidnapped after she was abducted in November 2015 at Odoni Community, Sabama local government area of Bayelsa State. With sports update, Kenen Ima Abodike, NTA News.
And those are the stories we're tracking at the moment. The news at 9 p.m. is on Network News. Do join us then. Good evening.
It was just like yesterday we started telling you about the Global Maritime Security Conference that Nigeria will be hosting. Main point will be Abuja. Upon us already because it's just some few days away. Over 80 countries will be represented, and the major thrust of the whole conference will be looking at security in the Gulf of Guinea and other parts that have special and major impacts on the maritime sector. We'll be giving you an update on the preparation. Also on today's program, we'll be bringing a session we had with a lovely representative of her people at the National Assembly. It's Nimasa this week. I'm Cordelia Obe. I say welcome.
The Gulf of Guinea serves as key navigational routes for international commerce, connecting the Far East to countries at the north and south of the Atlantic. Join us for the Global Maritime Security Conference 2019 from the 7th to 9th of October in Abuja, Nigeria. For more details, visit www.globalmaritimeSecurityConf.com. Let's join hands to manage and secure our waters.
The London Shipping Week was quite busy, and it had a lot of things happening at the sidelines, one of them being the West African Shipping Summit. And one major thing that took center stage was security in the Gulf of Guinea region. At the West African Shipping Summit that was put together by Akabu Law and Associates, representing the Chief of Naval Staff, Rear Admiral Ibe Enwo, had made it clear that privately armed guards are not permitted aboard commercial vessels in Nigeria. And also during that session, the Director General of Nimasa, Dr. Dakuku Peterside, took time off again to invite the world to the security conference, the Maritime Security Conference, that will be taking place in Nigeria. Some other things were also discussed at the West African Shipping Summit in London. One of them being the fact that the federal government is putting policies in place to encourage foreign direct investment, FDI, into that sector. This was made known by the Director General of Nimasa, Dr. Dakuku Peterside, to the stakeholders present.
The venue was brimming with a wide spectrum of global shipping interests. The chairperson of House Committee on Maritime Safety, Education and Administration, Honorable Linda Chuba-Yazu, and the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Transport, Mr. Salihu Zakari, led Nigeria's delegation to the summit. In his presentation, the Director General of Nimasa, Dr. Dakuku Peterside, disclosed that plans were underway to establish the International Maritime Arbitration Center in Nigeria to improve safety of investment in the sector, and called on the international community to come invest in Nigeria.
The Nigerian ecosystem is not only promising, it's also full of potential. Please just come, take advantage of the reforms we are championing, the opportunities that are bound there, and of course the willingness of our administration and our maritime administration to partner with whoever means to do genuine business in our environment.
Dr. Peterside also disclosed that the Nigerian Ship Registry is being reformed to make it more attractive by having provisions for both national and international players.
The Nigerian Ship Registry is certainly going to be one of the most business friendly in a short time. The bigger picture is that over time we're going to have dual ship registry. Now, if you notice, the Nigerian Ship Registry standards are high in terms of integrity, in terms of responsiveness, in terms of responsibility when you're registered in the Nigerian Ship Registry.
On his part, the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Iborete, who was represented at the event by the Chief of Policy and Planning of the Nigerian Navy, Rear Admiral B. Ibe Enwo, noted that the Suppression of Piracy and Other Maritime Offences Act, recently signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari, will surely curtail the activities of criminals on Nigerian waters.
This act will serve as a strategic deterrent to the commission of various criminalities within the nation's maritime environment and curtail the excesses of syndicates that continue to profit from sponsoring acts of piracy in our waters. This act also demonstrates the government's resolve to enforce maritime law within the region
towards changing global negative perception of the Gulf of Guinea as a haven of insecurity.
Also at the event, senior partner at Akabogu & Associates, Emeka Akabogu, noted that the Nigerian ship charter and freight market, estimated at $10 billion, is a key pillar of import trade in the service sector, and urged the industry to fully take advantage through effective due diligence, synergy, and regulatory compliance. This position was supported by the president of the Nigerian Chamber of Shipping, Andy Siche, and the CEO of Africa Risk Compliance, Michael Wingate, who called for collaboration between shipping and the regulators to bridge identified gaps.
We at the Nigerian Chamber of Shipping collaborated with the Ghana Chamber of Shipping to pioneer the establishment of the West African Chamber of Shipping. We are reaching out to other West African countries to join us so that we can provide a platform where common problems will be discussed, where investors who come to Nigeria and indeed West Africa can, engage to make life easy for any investor that comes to do business in Nigeria.
Introducing the new face of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa. We are charting the direction for a maritime and regulating the industry for a better, bigger, and more economically stable Nigeria. Evolved to serve you better. We are Nimasa. New face, rejuvenated service. Nimasa, changing the tides in your favor.
The Nigerian High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, His Excellency George Oguntade, also made it very clear to the international community that Nigeria is working very hard to ensure security on her waters. This was the same vein that was followed by the DG of Nimasa, as one of the major things that was discussed at that segment was also the Global Security Conference that will be coming up. The DG also made it clear that Nigeria is on full course to ensure her quest to get back on Category C of the IMO is actualized at an election slated to take place later in the year.
It was a gathering of diplomats from all the continents of the world. They are permanent and alternate representatives of various countries at the IMO. They came in their numbers, made out time to attend this dinner in honor of Nigeria. The Nigerian High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, His Excellency George Oguntade, led the Nigerian delegation, while the IMO Secretary General, His Excellency Kitak Lim, led the IMO team at the dinner. Ambassador Oguntade said that the Nigerian government is committed to providing conducive environment for business in the Nigerian maritime sector, adding that the Global Maritime Security Conference Nigeria has committed to host from the 7th to 9th of October this year is another show commitment.
Nigeria is proud to be associated with the IMO and will give necessary support to ensure that its lofty ideals are actualized. I therefore must commend the Secretary General, Mr. Kitalni, and all the member states for their commitment towards achieving the vision for safe, secure, environmentally sound, efficient, and sustainable shipping through cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria appreciates the opportunity to be a part of the success story of IMO, recognizing your capacities as representatives of the technical arm of the United Nations responsible for maritime affairs.
The DG Nimasa, Dr. Dakuku Peterside, then stepped forward to address the diplomats. He informed them of steps taken by Nigeria to improve on safety and security on Nigerian waters, including the Global Maritime Security Conference.
To further address the issue of security in the region, Nigeria is perfecting preparations to host a Global Maritime Security Conference in Abuja from the 7th to 9th of October 2019, with the hope of generating tailored both short and long-term solutions to the security issues in the region. region and around the continent of Africa. So far, participants from 80 countries have indicated interest to participate in the Global Maritime Security Conference, where we are going to hold action-oriented conversations and draw up what will be known as the Abuja Declaration, a specific agenda to tackle the challenge of insecurity in the Gulf of Guinea.
Dr. Peterside did not end his speech without informing his audience about Nigeria's quest to return to council at the IMO later this year.
Nigeria has positioned itself as a voice that should not be ignored in the region and at the global maritime stage. We have also made significant contribution to the work of the IMO. It is noteworthy that Nigeria is in full compliance with our financial obligations. We recognize the place of the IMO in driving safety in the maritime industry. On that note, let me take the advantage of this opportunity to invite you to support the candidature of Nigeria at the right time. Nigeria will present herself for election in November, December this year. And as we do, friends of Nigeria, friends of the maritime industry, stakeholders, those who believe that whoever has valuable contributions should bring same to the table. Please do what is right. Support Nigeria. Let Nigeria play the leadership role she's endowed with. Let Nigeria help contribute significantly to the work of the IMO. We are positioned to give our best to advancing the maritime industry by contributing to the work of the IMO.
Assistant Secretary General of the IMO, Dr. Lawrence Asong, who spoke on behalf of the Council, noted that the review of the report on Nigerian member states shows the ability of both human and infrastructural capacity in country for Nigeria to be a leading maritime nation.
And if you look at West Africa and the economies of West Africa, Nigeria is the bottleneck, it is the access route, it is the gateway. And I'm glad that you have put the effort to address the issue of maritime security. I have the distinct honor of also heading the IMO member stakeholder scheme. And so I had to read the audit report of Nigeria. There's nothing missing. There's significant infrastructure, there's significant infrastructure in Nigeria. And it's making sure that it works and the benefits will spread throughout the region. So we encourage you as you now begin to address the issue of security to do that with all the vigor and all the energy that you have, and you will be successful.
The chairman of the House Committee on Maritime Safety, Education and Administration, Honorable Linda Ikpeazu, Nigeria's alternate permanent representative of the IMO, and Nimasa executive directors also attended the event. About 40% of maritime incidents reported globally in the first 9 months of 2018 occurred within the Gulf of Guinea. Join us for the Global Maritime Security Conference 2019 from the 7th to 9th of October in Abuja, Nigeria. For more details, visit www.globalmaritimeSecurityConf.com. Let's join hands to manage and secure our waters.
You're still watching Nimasa this week. As I told you at the beginning of the program, our major focus for today is the Maritime Security Conference that is coming up some few days away in Abuja. If you'd like to be a part of it, very easy. The Global Maritime Security Conference 2019 is free to attend and participate. All you need to do is to register on the website www.globalmaritimeSecurityConf.com. That's all you need to do. We're talking about the security conference. One major thing that will be coming out of it is the Abuja Declaration. We're hoping that this will be a reality and it will be coming out from that conference. Aside that, one of the thematic sessions that will be taking place is titled Maritime Security, Legal Framework and Regulatory Issues in the Gulf of Guinea. This is Nimasa This Week.
Maritime security threats are transboundary and mobile in nature, thus posing a number of legal challenges for countries in asserting and exercising jurisdiction. This is further complicated not only by the vast and open nature of the seas where the crimes occur, but also is legally and jurisdictionally carved into zones which dictate and very often limit the extent one's country may act against the crime. These perhaps are some of the reasons Nigeria has chosen to take the lead by hosting this conference.
That we intend to do on the 7th to 9th of October is a world event which Nigeria takes the lead in the Gulf of Guinea area, being the largest nation in that area, and then to assure the world and show the maritime industry that Nigeria is taking the lead in terms of securing the Gulf of Guinea, which has a lot of security challenges.
Another fact is that some countries, especially in the Gulf of Guinea region, do not have the necessary mix of enabling legislations and judicial capacity to prosecute maritime crimes. They lack legislation criminalizing offenses like piracy and armed robbery at sea, a major problem in the effort to combat maritime crimes.
A lot of the information I've gotten from this conference will actually assist me in going back to look at the areas, if any, that any of the legislations that we can amend to make sure that we reinforce the sector and make sure that our waters remain safe.
So, when the management of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Nimasa took time off to engage international stakeholders on the latest development in efforts to improve safety and security in the Gulf of Guinea, the international community received it with open arms.
To a large extent, we achieved what brought us here in terms of changing the narrative of the Nigerian government towards the security issues in our maritime domain. One interesting thing was that all the members of the Secretary General of the IMO agree and believe in the conviction of Nigeria getting to the end of the maritime security challenges.
Dr. Jamo also noted that the Global Maritime Security Conference will surely have a positive impact on solving issues of insecurity in the Gulf of Guinea.
The issue of security it cannot be done by only one country. So a lot of countries around the world, they experience this kind of challenges, and they have different ways of addressing their own challenges. We have started here in this maritime security from Somalia, and today Somalia is a history. We've had these same security issues in this Southeast Asia, and this one is also now a history. Now we are now facing Gulf of Guinea issues. If you talk about Gulf of Guinea, there are so many countries in the Gulf of Guinea, over 22 countries making up Gulf of Guinea, but Nigeria is the biggest country. And as the Director General mentioned during his explanation, when you talk about maritime security, you can't keep anything in isolation from the issues of oil and gas. That is why we are now trying to move ahead. Others follow us in terms of championing the eradication of this maritime security within the Gulf of Guinea region.
The Federal Ministry of Transportation, in conjunction with the Nigerian Navy and the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, hereby announced the Global Maritime Security Conference 2019, scheduled to hold from 7th to 9th October 2019 at the International Conference Center, Abuja, Nigeria. Let's join hands to manage and secure our waters. The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, has made it clear that it is ready to work with its host community to make sure that development is not stalled, the progress is always moving. And this formed the thrust of the meeting that it had when the Honorable Member of the House of Representatives representing Apapa constituency and his team paid it a visit.
The Nimasa Director General, Dr. Dakuku Peterside, led members of his management to receive the delegation of Honorable Mufutau Egberonge, who informed his host that his visit was to ensure that the host community of the agency operates on the same page.
I must be put to heart. I did raise the motion on the previous institution on the floor of the house some couple of weeks before we went to recess, where I advanced some of these challenges, including the issue of the tank farms. I did emphasize that the issue of the cargo tracking machine and the modern scanner are some of those things that were advanced that that form the resolution of that my motion.
Let us start from day one. What are the issues? And we want to start with the knowledge and the blue economy, the future of Nigeria. When the school owners know that it is knowledgeable for them to know about blue economy, they will appreciate the reason why they have to catch them young, right from primary school. When they learn to draw a ship, from there they'll tell them about the opportunities of the coastal states. So that is why we're here, sir.
On his part, Dr. Dakuku Peterside noted that the agency is committed to community development alongside core functions of managing the issues of safety and security on Nigerian waters.
We are proud that you are representing us at the moment. You've shown, even by your very first steps, that you're going to be a good representative of the people. Because a good representative of the people is someone who is able to build bridges between different stakeholders and the people. You know, you're able to take the people of Apapa closer to the center and bring the people of Apapa and bring the center closer to the people of Apapa. And so I'm very confident that the next 4 years, Apapa will enjoy quality representation and we will benefit from it.
Well, that's our show for this week. I thank you very much for being a part of it. If you need to know more about the maritime sector, you could visit the Nimasa website. Or you could follow Nimasa on all her various social media platforms. Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. They are all at Nimasa Official. At Nimasa Official. You could also follow me on social media at Cordelia Obe, all the platforms. Till I come your way again next week, the countdown is on, and we'll be bringing you highlights, high points from the 2018 Nimasa Stakeholders Awards Night, preparing you for next year's zone. Till I come your way again next week. Bye.
This is NTA International.
Hello everyone, it's the green and white season again. Yes, it's time to celebrate Nigeria's independence. NTA Entertainment presents October 1st, 2019, a family fun fair and cultural mega splash featuring full draw, fashion runway, family games, cultural dances, comedy, Master and Miss Independence pageant, and lots more. So, join us as we splash the happy colors of green and white. Date, 1st of October 2019. Time, 2 p.m. prompt. Venue, NTA headquarters, 11 Garki, Abuja. KT, 1,000 Naira only. There'll be lots to eat and drink with lots more to take home. For more inquiries, please contact 080-3473-3971 or call 081-6495-5584. You can also call 080-3652-7878. This event is powered by NTA Entertainment, your one-stop entertainment channel.
We formed the APC from day one with the intention of changing the direction of Nigeria. We believe Nigeria is an African power and can be a major powerhouse in world affairs. But to do that, we need to change our direction.
It can be done. This country cannot be written off. It can be done. And this country will still lead Africa. We're making steps, slow steps, moving on. I mean, it took the Americans 200 plus years to get where they are. We're moving.
Nigeria, the giant of Africa, covers a total land area of about 923,768 square kilometers. 910,768 square kilometers is covered by land, while water takes the remaining 13,000 square kilometers. The entire country is highly blessed as it enjoys benefits brought by the vegetation zones that nature has gracefully endowed Nigeria with. From the rainforests, freshwater swamp, Guinea savanna, Sudan savanna to Sahel savanna, Nigeria is indeed on top of the world. Also blessed with enormous tourism potentials, unequaled deposits of mineral resources, and vast land for agricultural practices of choice, Nigeria is open for investment. All these are accompanied by a wonderful and hospitable people of diverse and charming cultures. Come and invest in Nigeria, the land of abundance and hospitality.
Welcome to Nigeria, a fascinating country. Take a trip through one of the most beautiful places on earth. A journey of discovery. A unique opportunity to get in touch with unspoiled nature. Enjoy your time in a place that offers something for everyone. A land of beautiful contrasts. An experience you won't forget.
This is the network service of the NTA.
The public is hereby invited to the 59th Independence Day Interdenominational Church service as follows. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Yemi Osinbajo, Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, ministering Reverend Dr. Daniel Y.C. Mbaya, General Secretary, EYN. Theme, Peaceful Coexistence for National Growth and Development. Date, 29th September 2019. Time, 3 p.m. Venue, International Christian Center opposite CBN, Central Business District, Abuja. All are cordially invited. Boss Mustafa, Chairman, 59th Independence Day Celebration Planning Committee, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Announcer.
Hey you! And I gotta talk to. I sabi you now. It's in your mind, Abi. The person with the hair pass. Babato Sangalo. Ogalego, Mr. Sabi. And you don't carry last for this one. We Sabi say Peking will crawl before in waka. So don't look, no help anybody. No, no. So go for it. Go for football. Go for all Syria and La Liga matches live. Go for GoTV Max.
I feel alive, so alive. When I'm with my best friends, indulging my G exotic. Nothing makes my drink more than when the mixer is delightful G exotic. And after a long day, I wanna relax with the taste of my G exotic. I love the taste of G exotic. I love the taste of celebration. Love the taste of.
I love the taste.
G exotic nectar. I love the taste.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Please, did you hear that?
Of course I did. That is Village Elmaster tune.
Yeah? So, Auntie Amebo was not gossiping then?
Village Elmaster is celebrating 50 years.
50? Already? This is not a joke. Oh.
It is a national celebration. NTA and Village Elmaster family are commemorating 50 years.
Hey, please, tell me, when is our golden jubilee?
It is from the 8th to 11th of October, 2019.
I have to go and get ready. It's time to party.
Women. But we, men, will be there too.
Hello everyone, it's the green and white season again. Yes, it's time to celebrate Nigeria's independence. NTA Entertainment presents Oktoberfest 2019, a family fun fair and cultural mega splash featuring raffle draw, fashion runway, family games, cultural dances, comedy, matter and Miss Independence pageant, and lots more. So join us to splash the happy colors of green and white. Date 1st of October 2019. Time 2 p.m. Prompt. Venue NTA headquarters 11 Garki Abuja. Gate fee 1,000 naira only. There'll be lots to eat and drink with lots more to take home. For more inquiries, please contact 080-3473-3971 or call 081-6495-5584. You can also call 080-3652-7878. This event is powered by NTA Entertainment, your one-stop entertainment channel.